Can you all see my screen? Okay, great. Let me know when to start. Sounds good. I know you all just completed your hackathon and you'll be eagerly waiting for your results. But while you do so, we'll have a non-technical workshop where you can take it easy and we'll go over some career growth related items. And at the end, we'll also look at some strategies you can take wherever you are in your career. This is a very lightweight presentation and we'll try to keep it short. But towards the end, if you have more career related questions, I'll be happy to take those. To begin with, my name is Harpreet. I am a senior software engineer at Amazon and I have more than 12 years of industry experience. And because of my experience, I decided to go for this presentation where I have grown from a SD1 to a senior software engineer and a tech lead. And I mentor a lot of engineers. So I believe that this guide can help you wherever you are in your career to help you go to the next level or help you get to your dream job in a dream role. So that's where we are here today. So we'll start with some misconceptions that's around the promotion process and the career growth with some reality checks and key takeaways for these myths. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we'll at the end have some action items that you can have in your roadmap while you work on your career planning as you grow in your career. And you can be at any stage in your career. After you graduate, you can be an early or a mid or a senior career engineer, right? But wherever you are in your career, you need to have a path and a goal. When you are very sure about the goal, the path becomes very clear and you will find ways to achieve that. It typically starts with joining your dream company or a dream role that you have envisioned. And as you get more clarity in your career and end up at your dream company, the next main question you ask yourself is, what is next? How do I grow in my current company or in my current role? How do I get more strategic projects and set a visibility into the org with the leadership? And most importantly, work on strategic projects that help me get to the next level. You should never ever give up on the learning side you have wherever you are in your career. So let's start with myth number one. This is a very common myth, especially with the younger early career folks that I have seen personally myself because I mentor them. Working long hours does not mean you will get promoted, right? If you work 50, 60 hours, that does not end up in a promotion. What leadership is looking for is your skills, the impact, the delivery, like what you have delivered. So try to work smarter, not harder. With all these AI technologies and tools available, try to minimize whatever you can use with these tools. You can have internal tools, you can have access to external tools, depending upon what you're doing. Try to leverage what tools are available to make your work easy and focus on delivering value, bringing that impact to your org, to your company, not just spending time. Yes, as you grow more, you'll spend more times in these strategic meetings or working with the senior leadership, and you might not be able to get those 40 hours in your daily work life. So here and there, you can have those extra working hours at night or weekend whenever you want to catch up, but don't make it a habit. It can easily become a habit, but don't make it a habit. Going on to number two. Um, I will learn as much as I can, but whatever I learn, I will get promoted with all these technologies and tools that I will learn. That's not the right way to think about it. Yes, you need coding to be able to grow in your career, right? To be able to advance. But just coding is not enough. You need to work on the relationships. You need to work with peers that could be in your immediate team, in your bigger organization, but the communication as well as the collaboration skills are most important. As you grow, you will get a lot of help from other seniors, right? They will mentor you. But once you become mid or senior, try to find those mentor opportunities where you become the mentor and help junior engineers grow. This is the most important thing I have seen in a lot of promotion documents where engineer is doing great technically, but they do not have these soft skills or these leadership capabilities to show why they should be growing towards the next level. So keep in mind that besides your technical, your soft skills are important, and it's never too late to grow these skills. You have tremendous resources available free, or you can like paid, but leverage those resources and build your soft skills. They will take you a longer way. Let's jump on to myth number 3. I have spent 3 years in my current role. I should be promoted. You should never have this discussion with your manager. I have seen these discussions, but it's the quality of your work. Sometimes even quantity does not matter. It's the quality, what impact you have brought to the team, to the organization, how you have performed, not just individually, but with the team in a team collaboration setting, right? So continue to always grow, and always show this hunger to learn and take strategic projects. It might be difficult for you to take good projects as you are early in your career, but as you grow more and show this impact, right, that you are a good engineer, you will automatically get good projects. So be sure that you are able to have this judgment where you can distinguish between this project is a good project and it'll take me to the next level. You have to start thinking that you're already at that next level before you even make to that level, because what typically seniors or leaders see is, are you currently operating at that level where you want to be? So focus on these measurable achievements slowly, and you will eventually, in a couple of years, build this portfolio for yourself that'll not only take you to the next level, but maybe it'll help you go to a different team or to a different company altogether. So it adds up. Jumping on to myth number 4. This is my favorite. Some of us have this unintentionally built into us as our culture, but your manager will not notice everything about you. Think about your manager or the person whom you are reporting to or managing. They could be technical, they could be non-technical, right? If they are technical, great, but if they are non-technical, they would mostly not know the impact you are making, right? Moreover, they could be managing like 10, 15 people. It's very common to for a manager to manage 10, 15 people. So don't just assume things. First, this is something that has helped me over 12 years. I always have a daily log. This daily log is just for myself to record what I have worked on that day or how I helped someone, like unblock them or debug something for them, or I how I spend my day today. Collectively, at the end of the month, you can put together a short verbose version of it and share that with your manager, where you not only talk about your accomplishments, but you talk about something you helped deliver, something you helped mentor, something you helped unblock. These achievements would help you eventually build that document or promotion that you are working for. But if you wait until like, okay, I'll do it at the end of the year when my review ratings are due or when my promotion is due, you will forget half of the things you helped with. You will definitely not recall what other engineer you worked with. So the running log helps, and do continuous check-ins with your manager. I call it career conversations. Even though your managers, it might not be a common thing to do across companies, but you should take lead of your growth and promotion and your career. And it's okay to ask for a manager to convert us one-on-one into a career conversation where you just focus on what you're doing good at and what is next thing you can work on, or the missing gaps that you can fill in order for you to get to that next level, right? So speak up for yourself. Some of us are hesitant, some of us might be introverts, some of us might not be aware of like how to speak for self, right? It might sound like I like speaking for myself is bad, right? These are bad manners, but no, it's not like that. You need to speak up for yourself. You need to have this document ready to be able to share with your manager, because ultimately you take all of this and put that in your career growth or your resume or your portfolio. So it helps. Going to the next myth, I will take this project and I will deliver it in shortest period of time, maybe 3 months, maybe 2 weeks, and I'll just work alone on it. It again goes back to one of the earlier myths we discussed. When you are working on a in a company with a team, your solo contributions matter, but they are not the only contributing factors for you to be able to grow. You will first of all not know everything in that service or in that project, so you will also need help from others to be able to learn, right? In the same way, you need to help others who are new to the team to help them grow. So the impact you bring on the team is a collaboration. You bring certain skills to the table, but you might be missing on other skills. So collectively you work, you learn, you help others grow. So mentorship is a very crucial piece of your growth. You won't realize this, but as you speak with others, as you take mentorship or you mentor others in this process, you learn and grow as an individual. Maybe it's not technical, but you grow the collaboration and the communication side of yourself. So it again helps. So try to balance these individual and team contributions and not just be a solo player on the team, because solo player can get you from, like, let's say a STE1 to a STE2, but it won't help you much in the longer term when you have to work with cross teams and cross organizations within the same company. So try to keep this in mind. Let's jump on to next myth. This is one of my favorite, but a lot of us are hesitant to change our not just organizations, but teams as well. Thinking that okay, my I have to start from scratch. I am going to be promoted next quarter, but my promotion will be delayed or my promotion will be blocked for 1 year, and then I have to again build these relationship with the new team. Yes, part of it is true, but think about it. You are early in your career, or you are exploring and you're not sure what you like versus what you don't like. You might end up in a job for some reason, right? You don't know what that team was working on. You're After you take that job, you don't like the work they're doing, or you're not happy. There'll be a lot of or you're not happy with your manager or company or some culture. There'll be a lot of things that can change, right? So instead of being unhappy, you should be happy working on that team or project. So at that point, you should be open and exploring other internal teams, or maybe changing company if that's the case. But let's say you decide upon changing an internal team. Once you do that, your current relations and the things you have built in the current team, they are not going to be taken away from you. They are still going to be on your portfolio, on your resume, right? And they will still be happy. If you build really good relations, these people would still be happy to support you in your promotion if you're within the same company, right? They will not say no to you. However, your promotion will not be happening, let's say, just immediately when you end up on that new team. That being said, it'll be just a matter of, let's say, a quarter or so. But the ultimate goal is you'll be happy working with the team you like, so, or a project that you like. So think about this, like, when you talk to a company or a project, think what value you bring on to that project or team that will benefit them and help them launch what they are dreaming of. Plus, on the other hand, they will be happy to collaborate with you and work with you on that, right? So it's a two-way collaboration, two-way thing. So things will change with, like, let's say, company changes, culture changes, manager changes, whatever. But as these change happen and you end up in that situation, just be more open about it. And the other thing that has helped me personally is you should always and always have a mentor in your career, regardless of whether they're in the company or outside the company. It should be someone senior to you in that role. But how that happens is you are sometimes not able to talk about, like, let's say I'm unhappy in my current role, I don't like this project, I don't like my manager. At that point, you go and talk to this person you trust. You tell them about your problem, about the projects, about what you're facing, and try to see if they can not solve the problem for you, but tell you some or guide you in the direction by giving you some points to consider. And that really helps you think wisely before you take the next decision. So changing team not always hurt, it's sometimes good for your career. Jumping on to next myth. Yeah, this again ties to one of the previous myths that we spoke about. I'll wait for my annual review to discuss my accomplishments with my manager or my peers. It will not help you because it is an ongoing thing. So, what happens is that daily log becomes a mini kind of like a career conversation talk you have quarterly or once a month, however, you discuss with your manager or your senior. You this daily log, you go and talk to them, but convert them into a career conversations, and not just with your manager. Discuss with your seniors and peers and mentors, because your manager might have one perspective, but the seniors or mentors in your area might have another perspective, right? So this don't wait for these annual one-on-ones or annual reviews to share your accomplishments. Have it at least at a quarterly basis if you cannot do it at a monthly basis. But besides your manager, always talk to someone else you trust so that you have an unbiased opinion from two or three different people. Jumping on to the next myth. I must be expert in everything and know it all before I'll be promoted. That's not true. We already spoke about this. You will learn, and every day you will learn something new as you grow. Sometimes you'll be learning a new technology, sometimes a new tool, something, a completely new language, whatever it could be, right? There are, in this today's world, not just with AI, but if you think about cloud and other strategic opportunities, there are always like microservice kind of architectures in mostly every company, right? These microservices, you will not own all of them at once, right? You will own maybe a piece. Let's say maybe you work at Uber and you own the payment service. What about the driver service? What about the rider service? What about the process of ordering a ride, right? All of this could be owned by some other service, right? Some other team, some other organization that does not report to your manager or your skip. So it's good to show that hunger to learn, right? To be able to grow, but you'll be not expert in that. So think about, you want to grow in breadth or in depth. There'll be always 1 to 2 areas where you'll be growing in depth as you grow more senior, like from a principal to a distinguished. But then you need not always know the depth of each and every service. So that's where the mentorship, the collaboration helps, because that's where the someone else would come in and they would help you build the gap. Going on to the last myth, I I want to be, or I should be a manager in order for me to grow, to become a leader on the team. That's not completely true. Yeah, some people really like the management track because they either want to grow as a manager or they want to manage a set of people. Some people have really good people management skills, right? I'm good at talking, I'm good at conveying things to others, and I'll be able to manage a set of 10, 12 people. So I'll switch to a manager. Great. But not everyone is good or fit for a manager role, right? So when you grow in your career, evaluate if you want to be. This is a question you need not answer when you're starting early, but when you're towards that mid or senior role, you'll find a lot of opportunities where you'll be offered a manager role or asked to switch back to a technical role. But remember, A technical role always and always helps, right? A manager role could be just going away one day. They might not need managers on the role, but each and every place needs an IC and a technical leader, right? So how you grow in your career really matters, but management track is not the only way to grow. There are technical leadership paths where you can contribute individually and grow from like a ST1 to ST3. And besides ST3, there is like a principal, a distinguished engineer, and imagine dreaming about becoming a distinguished engineer in cloud or databases, right? So you can have that influence. Again, that breadth would matter, not the depth at that point. So there are multiple paths to explore. There, right? We are just talking about the ST path, right? Not the manager path or the PM path. But depending upon what you like, there is opportunity for you to switch roles as well, not just switch teams and organizations, but within company. If let's say you start as a manager and you don't like it and you want to convert to an IC, there's always a way in the company. It might take you a few months to get there because you have to show that you have contributed technically as that role demands, and then they'll be happy to move you in that role. So some of the success strategies that have helped me, these are not the only ones, but getting the right projects is important, right? Those right important projects would help you build the right impact, but you will not get those projects right away, right? You would need to show with the work you are given right now as a starter on the team. You need to be able to deliver those starting projects or whatever they assign to you. Once you deliver those small items, you will build that trust with the team, with your seniors, and eventually you'll start adding value to the strategic projects. So third and fourth will come slowly. Don't worry too much about it, but you need to show that steady progress, steady growth in order for you to be able to get those high visibility projects, right? But in order for you to get there, you need to be continuously developing your technical as well as your soft skills and having these regular career conversations with someone you trust. So these are again circling back to what we have already discussed so far, having clear goals on what you want to achieve next. It could be a dream company, it could be a role within a dream company, it could be getting to the next level, it could be just learning a new technologies. These smaller clear goals would actually help you get there. If you don't have goals, you will not know what do I want to do next in my life. And once you define those goals, take some actions and measure how you are making progress towards those goals, right? So even like getting to a dream university, it needs a lot of prep. You cannot just get admitted into any dream university, right? You need to do your prep work. So seek early feedback, and depending upon feedback, if you have growth areas, if you're doing well, continue doing what you're doing well, but work on your growth areas as well. So these are some of the strategic questions that you can ask yourselves as you reflect on your career. And same way, this other questions that you can ask your manager, your mentors, like what unique values do I bring to the team? How am I contributing to the team? How is team helping me to grow? And all of this, in all of this, how do I measure the impact I'm making on the team? The missing gaps that I need to work on, and the superpowers. These align with your skills, right? It could be a small operational bug you fixed, but that small operation bug could, let's say, decrease the number of tickets your team get to by 30%, by 50%. Or it could be a small bug you identified, but you took that ownership to fix it, and it brought a big revenue impact or a customer impact to the company, to your org. So small things matter. And that's why keeping a log matters, because at the end of the day, let's say you did something in Feb or March this year. Are you going to remember that next year? Probably not. So keeping that log helps, because you can just go refer it and build this mini kind of like document to praise yourself with your manager. So collectively, all of this helps. I think that's the last slide I had. I'll be happy to take some questions if someone has. Do you think it's better to work your way up in the same company or go from company to company when you offer a higher position? It's a really great question. I think it depends on a lot of factors. A lot of people look for that higher position in a different company for, let's say, good benefits or good salary. But switching too many companies could also be bad impact on your career because your resume will show that. So I have been at Amazon for 7 years now. I have grown from SD1 to SD3. It's easy for me to change internally because I already know the tools. But then at some point, if I feel like there are not enough internal opportunities for me, or I'm not getting to the career path I envision for myself, I can start talking to internal teams, but there are not enough internal opportunities, and I'm stuck. At that point, I'll go explore outside opportunities, right? So it would really depend on where you are at your career. And it depends on a lot of factors. Some maybe you're frustrated with the company itself. It has nothing to do with the work you're doing. Then there's no doubt you'll go change the company, right? If you are just done with your manager or your team, then you can go and find another internal team, but still be able to grow internally because the work you have done in your current team will stick to you and help you get towards your next path comparatively easy compared to going to a new company. But then again, the bar going to a higher position in a different company is very high and it's very difficult to achieve that bar. So it might sound lucrative, but it might have its own side effects, or the bar you'll be ending up at that company. So the and one more thing, SD2 at one company could be SD1 at another company. So if you are still a SD1 on one company and you get a SD2 on another company, be sure to do your evaluation because not all roles are aligned equally in all the company. So that's where your year of experience matters, and that's where when you have multiple offers, you would evaluate on different terms. That's just my opinion. I hope this was helpful talk, not technical, but still help you all navigate your careers and growth as you work towards that dream level that you have in your mind. Thank you.